O'clock. My name's Gardy. This is Kickstart. You're listening to KHEA Radio. If you're watching on social media, go ahead and share this out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and let me know. We're going to have some fun this morning. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy. Right now it's 8:53. It's a Thursday, and I'm excited because we have a guest back in studio. And it's been a couple years since she's been in, but we're going to be talking about a really cool event that's going on. I believe it's this weekend. We're going to be finding out all about it. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself, share the organization that you're here representing today?
My name's Karen Wilson. I am the secretary of the Houston Koi and Pond Society, and we are having our annual pond tour this weekend.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of events that are annual. The last year, they weren't able to have them. So were y'all able to have y'all's event last year?
We were not. We were unable to have it. It was too early in the pandemic.
Yes. So how excited are you guys to be able to bring this back?
Oh, we're very excited, especially since we've combined the two clubs. 2 years ago, they were the Lone Star Koi Club and the Houston Pond Society. And about a year and a half ago, we decided to combine them, and we are now the Houston Koi and Pond Society.
Did it just make sense?
It did. They started out as one club, and then about 25 years ago, they split. And for some reason, and none of us currently know why.
Watch, it's going to be like another year, and it'll be like, that's why we split. Okay, it's all making sense now. They knew what they were doing. But no, it just seems to make sense to get y'all two together, right?
Yes, it did. It did. We've enjoyed it as much as we can. Like I said, it was just about a year and a half ago, and over the past year, most of last year, we were not able to meet as a group. So this is basically going to be our first year combined.
All right, so that's exciting. So the Houston Koi and Pond Society is going to be hosting their 2021 annual pond tour. It's Saturday, May 15th and Sunday, May 16th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So this event is free. It's open to the public. It's a self-guided tour of these beautiful backyard ponds in the Houston area and surrounding areas. But if you want to learn more, you can go to www.houstonkoiandpondsociety.org. You can also give them a follow and a like on Facebook and be updated with information as well. So how many different places is the tour going to cover this year?
Well, we have a list of ponds for Saturday and a list of ponds for Sunday. Some of the ponds are open on both days. We have 15 ponds on the tour this year. Some of the ponds have not recovered from the freeze yet. But the ponds that we do have are amazing.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't really think about. So I see palm trees, even in our drive over here, and there's a lot of trees and plants, and some of my stuff is just barely coming back. So a hard freeze that we're not really used to getting can mess up a lot of things whenever it comes to somebody's yard and their pond and just trying to keep it up, right?
Yes, that is true. We also had an issue with a lot of the ponds freezing over. And because we are not used to having a freeze down here that bad and ponds icing over, it was a very big challenge for the Houston pond owners to get their ponds and their fish back up and running and healthy again this year.
Okay, so did a lot of the fish, did they pass, or did some of them survive? How does that work?
Some of them survived. The majority of them survived, but the ponds had to be all restarted as new ponds because all of the good bacteria and the good stuff in the ponds died with the freeze. So everybody had to restart their pond as if it was a brand new pond, which takes quite a while.
It seems like there's a lot of work that goes into creating a pond.
It is a lot of work. It depends on how big and how technical you want to get to it. We have some that are just that have small ponds that are 300-400 gallons, and then we have some massive ponds. We have people who are in it just for the water gardens and have the fish as kind of like jewels in there, and then we have some that professionally raise their koi and absolutely huge, beautiful, magnificent fish.
I think I remember asking this question a couple years ago, but when does it become too big to become a pond? It's like, okay, now it's a lake.
Okay, we do have somebody on the tour that does have a lake
Okay, cool. Yeah.
up north,
Okay.
way up north. So, but it is work, but the number one cause of fish death is not because of something in the pond. It's because of the people who are working on the pond. They do water changes and they forget to turn their water off. And they flood it with city water, which has lots of contaminants in it, chlorine, and the fish die from chlorine.
Mm.
So a $30 timer on your water hose fixes that problem. But
Yeah.
that is the number one cause of fish death here in the Houston area.
Really? So it's just a matter of, you think you're doing the right thing, just not taking care of it in the proper way. You talk about like the good bacteria and stuff. Those things, do they just generally create themselves over time, or is that something you have to add?
It's something that you add, especially at the beginning of the pond, because when you start it back up, everybody knows that bad bacteria multiplies a lot faster than good bacteria. So you have to keep adding the good bacteria in a pretty aggressive way, like every 2 to 3 days for the first 2 weeks, and then once a week for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And by then your pond should be stabilized and you shouldn't have any more issues with it.
So you have a pond, right?
I do have a pond.
How is your pond doing?
My pond has changed a little bit. When I first got my pond, greater than 20 years ago, my son built it for me for my 40th birthday. And it was a nice, cute little 600-gallon pond that he hand dug himself. Every mommy needs a son like that.
Yeah.
We expanded it. We brought it out to 800 gallons. But we always wanted a bigger pond. We wanted something that was really impressive and just amazing. And we've got a small backyard anyways, and we don't like mowing the grass. So when
Pond.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when COVID hit last year, my family got together and rented a backhoe, and we dug out a bigger pond. So now it's over 6,000 gallons. Went from 800 to 6,000.
Wow. Okay.
And it's got a bridge over it, and it takes up like 25% of my yard.
What are the main reasons? And you know a lot of people that have ponds. You yourself have one, and you kind of joked, "Hey, we don't like cutting the grass. Let's put a pond in." What are some of the main reasons that people decide to start a pond? And that seems like actually a good one. It's less yard to upkeep, but you're creating more work, but it's still beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's like a vacation every day in your backyard. You get the running water, you get the